I have found a site that is older than Göbekli Tepe.
Imagine standing in front of stones carved 11,500 years ago by people who were still, in theory, hunter-gatherers. No farming, no cities, no writing. Yet, they were already building monumental architecture and carving human faces into pillars.
Welcome to the oldest civilization in all of the world.
I'm the Wandering Englishman, and today we're heading deep into one of the most important and still relatively unknown archaeological sites on Earth, Karahan Tepe. To get here, you leave the city of Şanlıurfa in southeastern Turkey, and if you're curious about that, you can watch my video on Şanlıurfa. And then you drive roughly 60 kilometers east. The landscape quickly changes. You move out of the flatter plains and into the rolling limestones of the Tek Tek Mountains National Park. The roads become narrower and quieter. Proper rural roads, eerily quiet roads that wind between low hills and rocky outcrops. It feels like you're heading somewhere most tourists have never heard of. And that's because Karahan Tepe isn't on many tourist maps. It's only really been properly excavated since 2019. And while it's now open to visitors, it remains one of those rare places where you can still feel like you're discovering something extraordinary before the crowds arrive.
It's windy, I'm on the open plains. There's not much around here apart from a few goats, farmers, miners, and archaeologists. You might remember my video on Göbekli Tepe. Well, I am at Karahan Tepe, and it's just up here, and it will be the first time I'm visiting it. It was only recently discovered. It's almost, in a way, not on the map. But they say this is 250 years older. It's almost like the blueprint to Göbekli Tepe. So let's go check it out.
If ancient mysteries and travel get you excited, you're in the right place. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's see what wonders we can find. Karahan Tepe sits in the Tek Tek Mountains, part of the wider Tas Templar region. It dates back to around 11,400 years to roughly 9,750 BC in the pre-pottery Neolithic period. What makes this even more remarkable is that evidence suggests it's older than Göbekli Tepe, possibly by several centuries. Now think about what that actually means. If hunter-gatherers were quarrying stone on this scale, carving sophisticated T-shaped pillars, building large communal structures, and creating symbolic art this early, then the story of human capability gets pushed back even further. It means complex thinking, social organization, and monumental construction existed even earlier than we previously believed. The old idea that sophisticated civilization only began after agriculture is looking increasingly shaky.
I love it, as it's only really just opened to the public. This was discovered in 2019. I was expecting this sort of makeshift tent to be where I'd have to pay to get in. Göbekli Tepe, 21 euros to get in. Here, it's free. Look at this. Let's just admire this, okay? I'll tell you more about it on the narration.
But as exciting as this discovery is, I have to be honest, even while researching this video, I started noticing things that made me wonder whether this incredible site is being looked after in a way it truly deserves. We'll come back to that later. What they're uncovering here is truly extraordinary. Hundreds of T-shaped pillars, many carved straight from the bedrock, large circular enclosures, and a unique bedrock carved space called Structure AB with a mysterious serpentine channel that may have been used in rituals. And then there's the art, powerful 2.3 meter anthropomorphic statue of a seated male figure. And in late 2025, archaeologists made headlines with the first T-shaped pillar ever found with a carved human face. Deep eyes, strong nose, defined jaw. It's the clearest sign yet that these pillars have represented people or ancestors.
You can see the landscape here, very, very barren. This is one of the many rolling hills in the area. As I drove up through here, there really wasn't much. There were some farms, there were cotton farms. People were farming cotton, picking it by hand. Imagine that. There were people bent over in the fields. But here, up on the tops of the hill, wow. Now I have an amazing view. Look below me. These stones that we see up here, much more modern. These hills have always been places of sacrifice, have always been places of worship. When I say sacrifice, I mean goats, animals, place to sort of be up higher, closer to God, because we are very high right now. This is the highest of the Anatolian area. Look at this. It feels like a Star Wars landscape. Really beautiful.
These weren't simple camps. These were places of meaning, gathering, and memory, built by people who were still largely living as hunter-gatherers, hunting gazelle and gathering off the land. This is why Karahan Tepe matters so much. It shows us that the roots of what we call civilization, monumental buildings, shared ritual, complex symbolism, were already present in the hunter-gatherer societies. And if it really is older than Göbekli Tepe, it pushes that story back even further. These people weren't primitive. They were organized, skilled, and deeply connected to something bigger than daily survival. The Tas Tepe project is revealing an entire landscape of early Neolithic activity that's rewriting our understanding of how we became who we are. And of course, this site has caught the attention of researchers like Graham Hancock, who has visited this site multiple times and featured it in the Ancient Apocalypse. He sees these places as possible evidence of lost advanced knowledge or survivors from earlier cataclysms carrying wisdom forward. You'll find fantastic deep dive videos on YouTube channels like History Time and Ancient Architects exploring these ideas. Now, whether you agree with alternative interpretations or prefer the mainstream archaeological view, one thing is undeniable. These stones are forcing us to ask bigger questions. But I want to return to something I hinted at earlier because it's important. In my video on Göbekli Tepe, I showed how profit and tourism seem to be put before proper archaeological care. The rush to open the site and monetize it has, in my view, come at a real cost to the integrity of the place. I'm now seeing the same pattern beginning to emerge here at Karahan Tepe.
My biggest concern is the lack of excavation going on right now. It was discovered in 2019. It's hugely significant. Millionaires from around the world, billionaires, should be giving money to this place so they could pay archaeological students to excavate this place. What's going to happen will be some unscrupulous profiteer is going to put some walkway around here, and they're going to charge people the 21 euros similar to Göbekli Tepe, and they're going to basically drill into the site, which I think they already have. This looks like they've drilled into the site without excavating it. Those mounds of earth that you see, I think, are a sign that they are going to be building a platform so people can be walking around this site. And in drilling into the site that hasn't been excavated, they're potentially drilling things that we don't know, hasn't been discovered. Look at this. The site is right here. They have no idea what they dug into just there. That could have been an entire T-shaped artifact. It could be just exactly the same as this. It could be that. Oh my God. I'm excited about this, but I'm just saddened by what they've done. And here. This is clearly a part of the site. Look at this compared to the stones. Stones, part of the site. It's come from that hole. So they've literally just dug into the site, breaking this up, whatever this was. My word. Where is the care? Where's the care? This is all about profit. Look at this. So we have the site here with a man holding his phallus, and then we have this epic other site over here. It's extremely epic. And then right next to it are these holes. And these holes tell me they've just drilled into it. Bang. One over there. Bang. One over there. Bang. Because what they're going to do, they're going to build a walkway. And they've just drilled down into this area. Let me show you.
The same thing happened in Göbekli Tepe. The profiteers simply drilled down without any care or consideration what they were drilling into. And it's clear here from the artifacts that we see scattered as debris, they have destroyed something that's potentially 12,500 years old.
What have they smashed up here? Look at this.
Right now, a major infrastructure is being built. They're planning to build a large protective roof, a 3-story visitor reception centre, an excavation house, research facilities, and new walking routes. Now, on paper, some of this sounds like protection, but when you look closer at how quickly things are moving and how much emphasis is being placed on turning this into a major tourist destination, while 95% of the site remains unexcavated, it raises serious concerns. Are we properly documenting and protecting what is still buried before heavy construction and visitor pressure begins? Or are we repeating the same mistakes, prioritizing ticket sales and development over careful, methodical archaeology?
This looks like something significant, and it's just been left here.
I'll be honest with you, from everything I've researched and seen, they appear to be setting the ground to do exactly the same thing here, and that worries me deeply. These sites are irreplaceable. Once context is destroyed or rush development damages what's left, we can't get it back.
This is the infrastructure that they have here at the moment, but as this becomes more popular, and probably because videos like this get made, more and more people will want to come see it. Unfortunately, more and more infrastructure is going to get built, and my fear is it will get built before the dig is finished, because right now we're at the point where they seem to have given up on the dig and they are putting in infrastructure so they can generate income.
This isn't about being against people visiting and experiencing these wonders, far from it, but it has to be done with genuine care and respect for archaeology first, not profit. Karahan Tepe is one of the most important archaeological discoveries of our time. It's pushing back the story of human achievement and making us question everything we thought we knew about our ancestors. But if we're not careful, if we let short-term commercial interests override proper scientific care, we risk losing far more than we gain. Now, what do you think? Should these sites be opened up quickly for tourism, or should preservation and slow excavation come first? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I will read every single one of them.
Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the insights into this amazing site. I really, really hope that more attention is paid to this site, not from tourists, not from people like myself, but from actual archaeologists. Money is poured into this with archaeology, trying to understand the ins and the outs of this and everything that came before it, because this is the birthplace of Abraham. Noah's Ark is thought to have rested several kilometers from here. This is such a significant site, and I'm just dismayed at the drill holes that we've witnessed today. I would love an archaeologist to explain, without care, drill hole after hole after hole in what is probably the oldest recorded civilization in all of the world, 250 years older than Göbekli Tepe. Anyway, if you appreciate this content, you can always subscribe, you can like, leave a comment. Maybe you want to join as a member. By joining as a member, you really help this channel. It helps me pay for my plane tickets. It helps me pay for my hire cars just to get to these locations. And it helps me just pay for accommodation and food. It is really, really appreciated. Share this if you think this will be useful for someone, and hopefully I will see you in another video. You can watch any of my 700 plus videos, or you can wait for the next one. Until next time, keep progressing, keep wandering. See you soon.
Now, if this video made you think, give it a like, subscribe. If you're new here, you can check out my earlier video on Göbekli Tepe, where I went deeper into these issues. There's a whole playlist on ancient Turkey and lost history waiting for you. Until next time, keep wondering, keep exploring.